All hail!
All hail the Great
All
Lord
hail!
Cockroach! I'm sorry, you have to do it. All hail the Great Lord Cockroach.
Oh my god.
No, you can't be too enthusiastic or you'll scare them.
All hail the Great Lord Cockroach?
He is the ever-present savior of our race of like a dozen people. But you know what? We're working on it.
I mean, we would be happier if we weren't turning into giant cockroaches all the
Oh,
time,
yeah,
scaring each other and making each other poop their pants. But you know,
Technically speaking, when we're not in pants, we kind of poop all over the place. So I mean, you gotta clean that up.
you would too if you turned the corner and saw a giant 8-foot cockroach. You don't judge us.
Yeah.
Welcome to Legacies of Caine, where we have giant 8-foot cockroaches this week. It's a Vampire the Masquerade stream, technically, so there are vampires here.
Technically. No, this is the cockroach stream now.
It's
Yeah.
the cockroach stream.
We're all just going to become cockroaches.
Yeah, the Great Lord Cockroach saved us. He now has control of our souls. He's going to turn us into cockroaches.
Joining me as usual is CarpeDM as Nathan, Jess the Bubblegum Viking as Dawn, and Umber as Leslie. So, last week was an exciting one. They finally broke into the hidden Ravnos stronghold within, God, I forgot the Eastern European country you're in. Oh my god. Kyrgyzstan. Yeah.
Near Osh.
Because I can never pronounce that name correctly, so that's why I'm forgetting it. I'm like, oh crap, how's it pronounced? Anyway, Kyrgyzstan, near Osh, the city up in the mountains, they discovered that it had a trap down there of something that is alive-ish. Basically, they set off the trap, it got blood back, which allowed it to wake up from torpor, and it was an abomination, a werewolf vampire. They made nice with it. And by
He's my
nice,
friend.
it totally probably won't eat you yet.
Well, I'm not going to eat Leslie, at least.
Yeah, he's my friend. I'm going to dominate the world with him.
Until it continues to
Jesus
go,
Christ.
until it goes even more crazy, and then just
I mean,
eats
did you see those muscles? God, I could lay in bed patting those all day.
The thing could like super bench press any of you by a
Yeah.
billion miles. Anyway, so that thing's on the loose now, and they left the safety after about a day of the caves to find it kind of ravaged, as if there had been a battle in the area, there had been fire, so you're not sure what happened. But the military people that were in the area probably did something to do with that. You're not sure the exact result of what was going on. No evidence was left behind, but you got out of there pretty decently. And along the way, they ran into the samsa, a genetically engineered group of were-cockroaches that had been freed by the cockroach spirit and had been instructed by him to save you, for reasons unknown.
Yeah. Definitely a thing.
Oh,
He's just jealous that we're vampires and he's not.
Well, the Great Lord
No,
Cockroach.
we're not vampires. We're just vampires.
So yes, you met Ryan, Sarah, Mark, and George. George, who happens to be driving. Ryan, who's the one you've been talking to a lot. And Sarah and Mark, who are, well, just as scared of you as they are not probably scared of them, except for Dawn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So your transport vehicle is now continuing through the forest, heading out towards the main road that you originally came on. Well, don't worry. We'll be taking you to some friends who will want to help you out.
These
These
wouldn't happen to
friends.
be the woof friends that you mentioned before, would they?
Oh, yes. You see, we got a couple of friends here who are in town. Now, granted, fortunately, we haven't had to deal with the silver fangs yet, or the I believe what are they called? The red talons, who are the two groups with the guns and the biting and the things like that are probably going to be oh, they want it like running into you. Yeah.
Remind me again, what are the names of the ones we're meeting called again?
Oh yeah. There is a good friend of ours, a children of Gaia, I believe it is. His name is oh god, I'm really bad with his name because it's really weird. I think he's some kind of hippie. It's like, walks on Earth or something. Is that correct? Oh, it's close enough. Okay.
So what's the generally accepted, greeting? Do we have to like scratch him behind the ears, give him a bone, maybe a nice juicy steak? Like what
Sniffing
do we
his
do?
asses.
Not doing that. Not doing that unless I'm paying him. Oh, that kind of bone.
I mean,
And, see, they're just really accepting of a lot of people. And then there's, the glasswalkers who, like to hang out in cities and stuff. And, are I guess, the ones that, also serve the Great Lord Cockroach very often. Yeah, a good friend, Sebastian is, our representative in the town. He got us this nice vehicle to come and get ya.
Nice.
when you say good friend, is this like, out for a couple drinks type friend, or oh god, it's you type friend?
I wouldn't know. I was never one to come out with drinks for people. You see, even before I was a giant mutant cockroach monster, I was not much fun for drinking.
Ryan, you don't live much, do you?
Occasional drink on special occasions are good, like a birthday or a holiday. Like you go out for a couple of drinks with the missus on New Year's. Unfortunately, my missus passed away some years ago before I went into this test program that got me all cockroachy. See, they were looking for volunteers to test some kind of drugs. Little did I know, I'd be a giant cockroach after I was done.
Yeah, that doesn't sound something like you'd want to sign up for if you knew that, yeah?
Ryan, when this is all over, I'm taking you to a club. You need to live a little.
Oh, okay.
I know a guy who's making a movie. Maybe you could be in it.
Oh,
Never know. They might need gigantic cockroaches.
oh, if it's a monster movie and they don't mind cockroaches pooping on set, there it might work.
You'd save money on special effects at least.
Oh, that's true.
Who needs CGI when you've got the real thing?
Oh, yes. So, yeah. So, we're gonna go meet with them. They should be back in, I remember the name of this town because it always reminds me of Oshkosh McGosh. Did I get that right? Close enough. Okay. Ash, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah.
You nailed it.
Excellent. I'm feeling great today. I only pooped myself twice so far.
I can make it a third if you want.
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you very much.
You sure? Leslie's just gonna play the ball of shadow in his hand.
Oh, no, it's fine. This place will start getting smelly if we all soil ourselves repeatedly. We're used to it, though. I don't know about you. Oh, do you have noses?
I'm not used to it.
I mean, we hang around with, yeah.
That's not the same smell.
No. Because at least
I
with him, it's not fresh.
In my head, Nathan is doing exactly what you are, just like head back, like, oh.
Yep.
Perfect.
Well, it's exciting and all, but, so how about, a song while we're driving?
No.
Oh,
I'm with Nathan. We're good.
okay.
One bottle
don't
of
wanna
beer
draw
on the wall,
attention.
one bottle of beer, take one down, drink it, and then it's gone.
I don't think one's enough to forget that this has happened.
Yeah.
So,
You might need a couple more.
So, you have some stories to tell about your, becoming, vampires? Were you always vampires? I don't know how they work nowadays with the, things. The Great Lord Cockroach just told me that you were,
Yep, we've all been vampires since before we were born.
Yeah, that's true. It's
Just one day you poof, you're alive, and you're
Oh.
vampire.
yeah,
So it's
you just kinda
destiny.
pop into existence.
It's
Yeah.
it's destiny. Like apparently the
No, we don't play that game.
Yeah, that game sucks.
Although that if you ever run into our child, then we could have been better naming him, but
All right then. Well,
please.
I guess we'll
Perfect.
just keep on going here. So Ryan will kind of like attempt small talk here and there, but I'm guessing you're shutting him down at this point in time.
Imagine he's just like swinging his legs back and forth, humming the song because no one will let him sing.
Yeah, exactly.
Leslie's just gonna cover his head in a ball. I can see through my own shadow.
You're just like, no!
Dawn is climbing into the shadow and she's just gonna sit and roll back and forth. She's like, no, this was enough. There was a spider in me, there was cockroaches, I'm not okay.
Alright, I'm just gonna throw my shadow ball on her head.
Mm-hmm.
I needed
I'm
that.
good. I will continue paying attention to what he's saying, just not interested in it unless it's interesting stuff.
They've switched over to discussing, like, local food between the three of them that are back here, with occasionally George, who's driving, like, it's probably unsafely, like, chiming in through, like, the little, like, window thing.
He turns all the way around.
Yeah, you see his, like, head kind of turn around a little bit. It's like, no, just watch the road!
George, a deer!
Oh! Oh, I believe we smashed it. Oh, that's fine.
Anyone hungry?
This thing's tougher than I thought.
Hey, what do you cockroaches eat anyway?
Oh, whatever we can get. You know, it's when we're people, you kind of want to eat people food. But when you're a giant cockroach monster for a while, you really can digest more things than you think.
Mm-hmm.
It's
How
really
about
amazing.
radiation? How do you guys do with radiation? I'm curious.
Don't know, haven't really tested it. And if the scientists did test us on it, they didn't say. It's hard to remember a lot of those horrible tests and experiments they put us through.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, they will have horrible PTSD.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan. Look at me for a second.
Oh, yes, hi, hello.
I'm just gonna dominate him. Spend a blood point. Probably shouldn't do this, but I'm curious. Remember. See if I can get past the PTSD.
Okay.
You're just gonna have him screaming.
You say remember, and he just sits there.
Remember the tests.
Yeah. No, I don't seem to be remembering anything. Did you do something to me?
Ooh.
No, I'm just, trying to see if we can dredge something up.
Oh, well,
Sure.
the great Lord Cockroach seems to protect our minds from it. If not, we'd be gibbering fools like the rest of our kind. You see, it was one day we were all gibbering fools in our cells, hearing the voices in the darkness. You know, there's a lot of voices in the darkness. And then the great Lord Cockroach came drowning out all the rest of them, just for a little bit. Enough time to let us know about ourselves, and to bring us back from the brink of madness.
I know somebody who's been there.
It was quite a thing, you know? All of a sudden, you, realize you're there. I don't remember, anything of what happened to me after I became a giant cockroach. I remember injecting some things in me, and some stuff that was really awful, and some experiments that probably was what was transforming me. And I remember that stuff, and it was very painful. And then there was some things with, shedding some roaches. I'm surprised at the amount of roaches that are around this area right now. Anyway.
Unfortunately, Dawn can't hear any of this.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like we're meeting the highway again. We should be there pretty soon.
Excellent.
Right. So it'll be about another half an hour to an hour of enjoying the company of Ryan and his friends.
Indeed.
Dawn is having a great time just in her little bubble of darkness.
Yep.
I'm using my shadow bubbles for combat, just like, hey, don't worry about this.
Don't think about the bugs.
Don't think about the bugs.
But eventually they'll head into the town of Osh once again. This time you're actually going to be kind of... so it's still, late at night. Probably a little past midnight when you're arriving back in Osh. And you'll be driven through a large section of town, and kind of to the outskirts of town on the other side of it from where you would leave to head into the mountain range.
Okay.
You'll kind of head into an area that seems to be almost like suburbs of Osh, but it's it's an old European town, so it's not the kind of suburbs you definitely see in...
Yeah, it's like a European residential area.
Yeah. So, very different than those in North America would recognize, but, you know. Anyway, and you come to, like, what appears to be a farm of some kind on the edge.
I'm gonna call my shadow bubble back in my hand and tell Don we're here.
Mm-hmm. It's got probably, would it be Russian? I guess it'd be Russian. We'll say. I have to remember the languages of Kyrgyzstan.
It'd either be Russian or Kyrgyzstanis, or I don't know what the actual name is called.
Kyrgyz.
Yeah, there you go.
It might even be in both because they're both official languages of the country. It's got. You're pretty sure it's a name that is not in Russian. It's like McDown's Ranch.
Okay.
McDown. Mm-hmm. Sounds Irish or Scottish or something.
Yeah, it does.
Sounds depressing.
Oh, that's a highly inappropriate way to talk about people. Just because they're different doesn't mean they're depressing.
Well, I mean, they could have been named the McCups.
Exactly.
They'll pull into this area and kind of park over next to a barn. And at that, Ryan's like, "Oh, let's go meet them. They're probably waiting for us. We told them we'd be bringing you back here."
Excellent.
So
Well, we'll either be dying or not. Good luck, all.
Dogs. Did they object to being called puppy dogs?
I'm pretty sure they probably would hate you for it. I haven't tried it, but I'm too afraid
Ryan, I'll
to try
be
it.
real with you. They hate us already. I don't think it can get any worse.
Oh, I'm
Death
not sure that's
sounds
true.
worse. Yeah, death sounds much worse.
Yeah,
Oh.
you know,
Death.
most of the tribes would probably try to murder us on sight. These two guys will treat us nicely. The children of Gaia say that as much as horribly we've been created, we too can be part of the natural order of things if we open our minds and hearts to Gaia itself. I don't really understand that, but I think Great Lord Cockroach is all for this Gaia thing, so...
I think you're absolutely right about this hippie thing.
Don, I'm gonna remind you, we just spent a couple of hours in a vehicle with cockroaches. Do you think it can't get any worse?
If the cockroaches kill me, that would be worse.
See, but if a wolf kills you, then you don't gotta remember the cockroach incident.
Yeah, if I die quick, I'm fine.
Yeah. See?
At this point.
So,
I mean,
No offense, Ryan, but you are horrible.
Terrifying.
Oh,
Absolutely
yes.
fucking terrifying.
Oh, oh, I know.
Honestly, I see why you guys do the soiling thing.
Indeed.
I understand that, yeah.
Mhm. You see, if we all change at once, it's a little okay, because then we're all like, you kind of recognize each other.
mm-hmm.
Can you guys how do you guys recognize each other? Y'all look like cockroaches.
Oh, you'd be surprised. You see, you know, Sarah there, she's got different kinds of antenna. We think it's because she's a female. You know, Mark, he's got slightly longer secondary limbs than the rest of us. And George, he's got like if he's flying around, his wings are a little more developed with some different patterns. You can notice different things about you.
Leslie just has the mental image of an 8-foot
Flying thing,
cockroach
yeah.
and putting that out of his mind.
Let's meet the hippies.
Yeah, I'll take the hippies.
So you kind of like depart the vehicle, led by Ryan, Sarah, and Mark, as George will kind of get out the front. And you'll see that there is a kind of fairly sharply dressed man here who, if you just first looks at him, kind of looks like maybe even an accountant. He's got like a pair of glasses. He seems to be carrying like a tablet or something that he's like checking out. Next to him is a man in a kind of like it looks like kind of claw, like something that like you'd be like made of leathers or like furs and stuff. But it would be something that you would actually get nowadays rather than something you would make yourself. You know, like I wouldn't call it high end, but definitely
It'd be like tailored.
Yeah, tailored leather stuff and things, and he's kind of got like like a little kind of like squished hat on his head, similar to like maybe a cap or a beret, but never like, you know, maybe more like cap than anything. But that one looks more like a little more rustic, as maybe he like made it himself.
Like a European style cap, or
like simple like
flat,
head cap,
floppy,
like a head cap, yeah, kind of thing.
Yeah.
The one that looks like an accountant would kind of sigh. So, he's gonna say this in English. Are you the gentleman that our friends here were sent to retrieve?
I mean,
Gentleman and lady?
I'm pretty sure even you can see this one is not a gentleman.
He's not. He hasn't looked up for his like tablet. He's like working on it. You know. He's like, yes, that's fine. Look, Ryan, the rest of you, please go clean yourselves up. We'll take care of business. You will be going home soon. Oh, yeah, thank you. Oh, see you later, guys. Let's hang out some more later. We can talk stories about you being all like blood-sucking creatures of the night or something.
Absolutely, Ryan.
He's like, every time he puts his fingers up and does it too. Like
I'm gonna toss my shadow ball halfway at him and then recall it when it gets towards his face.
Oh, you almost got me again there. Oh, I'm gonna go clean up. The one that's dressed up is gonna kind of like look you over a little bit, and then kind of whisper something to the one that's kind of in the leathers and stuff is doing this. Is whispering to the one that's the businessman, and he kind of shakes his head. All right, so what are you doing in here, and why are you attempting to declare war on our kind, apparently? Or at least drawing out a war?
We have done no such thing. You're the ones that called us here, so the real question is, why are we here?
Oh, I forgot how foolish your type can be. Look, I'm here because this is a subsidiary of my company. A small farm in the middle of Kyrgyzstan that I manage to maintain that keeps good ties with my fellows in this area. But if you're comparing me to all the rest, I'm guessing it's the same as you comparing each other to each one being the same. Am I wrong, or am I right?
We've made no comparisons. You, however, have immediately put us into a category with all other...
Yes, kindred.
Indeed.
I did not say you were all the same. I said you were all kindred. All your types have very similar traits. But let's not delve into that right now. I'm not in the mood for this. If it wasn't for being charged with the protection of these things, I wouldn't even be here. They are idiots.
After dealing with them for 30 minutes in a van, I get it. I get this. Yeah.
They do have uses. Anyway. Why are you
to clarify, declaring a war, or extending a war, or prolonging a war, you consider that as arriving in a location...
Well, let's see here.
And then leaving one?
Let's see here. Since your presence came here, there was a battle between the common forces that were protecting this area, a joint area of military kinfolk, and the werewolves that work with them. Between them and apparently a group of black spiral dancers that were following you. Followed soon by, as the battle commenced, a best described as abomination coming out from some hidden location and then joining the battle again. As far as we know, everything has broken up, but the results of this battle have not been seen, and this is all because you showed up.
That's awfully presumptuous of you, don't you think?
Am I wrong?
We're not that important.
Do we have control over said black spiral dancers or over your kind? I don't believe we've done a single thing to encourage this.
Or honestly, even over our kind?
Yeah, we're pretty low ranked. Like, we're not important enough to bring this much attention, honestly.
Really, you seem to be making a couple very obvious presumptions and stereotypical...
He's actually going to look up from his tablet now and kind of look at you. Look, there was more than just the tracking information on you, on the information that our good friends Ryan and his crew managed to acquire in some god-awful way. I'm not even sure how they managed to get this information. It turns out that the group that, let's just say, is aligned with some of this institute. It looks like they're the ones that had sent these black spirals to follow you.
And naturally,
of course, we are responsible for their actions, given that we were unaware of the fact that they were following us in the first place.
Yes, naturally.
I am not assuming that you were behind it, but I'm assuming that you brought in problems. And also, the fact that the abomination showed up as soon as you settled into an area. I'm assuming from the area you were in. Either you were responsible for it getting free, or by accident you did. And either way, as much as I'd like to say, oh, I'm fine with this, I'm not. I'm not really fine with that. There are some things I can draw a line with. Look, I might have to deal with your kind occasionally, and I'm fine with that. You folks are, not the worst things I've dealt with. And as much as I'd like to, I'm not one for purifying your kind from the world. Let's put it that way.
Fair. So, what would you like of us?
You're the common cold of the earth. As bad as you are, we can live with you. You'll be back. Can't get rid of you.
Welcome to try.
Oh, no. No. I'm fine with it. And besides, you probably don't want me to.
I don't.
The other one will speak up, and this guy has, like, it's the strangest language he will use, because he speaks, like, a little bit like you'd have, like, a new world, like, not new world, I can't think of it, like, the modern day kind of hippie types.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like one of those, but with a very heavy French accent. So, I'm just going to go...
So, a French hipster?
French hipster. Look, you're all just pawns in the great scheme of things. We know that you're not really looking to cause a problem, but man... You guys have caused a problem in this area. Things have been turned upside down. We might have to worry about some repercussions that might be farther throwing. As much as the two groups you dealt with aren't necessarily copacetic with each other, the Silver Fangs and the Red Talons are still fierce groups. I'm very proud of who they are. When they took over this area, they weren't planning for anything this big.
I beg to differ from the military helicopters they seem to have on hand at their entire free disposal.
Well, turns out, when you have connections to the local militia, you got some power in the area. Most of the military forces kind of, well, at least in this region, it's been spread out into the militia. Most folks don't really realize that. Kind of the hidden legacies of independence from the Soviets.
I have a fair deal of experience with the Soviets, and I've still never seen a militia armed with a, and I'm completely forgotten. Oh, I've never seen a militia armed with a hind, in all honesty. I'm not even sure where they gained the experience to pilot a hind.
Well, that might have been because some dealings with me. Why do you think I'm able to stay in this region? Similar to how your clans battle with each other. Our tribes tend to do that. Though, unlike yourselves, we... Or do you? I'm not sure. Do you tend to kill each other?
On occasion.
Well, we try to avoid that. It's one of those things. Battles to the death are rare, especially between clan or tribes. They can occur, but that doesn't mean want for getting a, as you would say, beat down, which I am not in for. Business is fine here, and I'd like to stay to it. Fortunately, that means I can do things like I'm doing now, under the radar of them. Especially since a little bit of surplus directly from the Soviet military happens occasionally across the borders. I'm sorry, Russian military, as it's now. As he kind of chuckles to himself. Look, we know something weird's going on, and that you're here. You were doing something there. All we want to know is what's going on, because we might have to get involved in this.
Long story short, monstrous forms of shadow and darkness are set to take over the world, and we're trying to stop it. No big deal.
That is fairly accurate.
You know, despite your kind's obvious negative views of us and the stereotypes involved in it, you know, not all of us exactly want to see the entire world destroyed, so...
Sebastian will kind of chuckle and to be like, I didn't think any of you would want to see the world burn. Well, I've heard tales of a few of your kind that would. But no, you're, as I said, you're cold, or a parasite, something that lives off this world. And, at most can, some of you have done good in certain ways, but I would keep it to more a trade-off. You break even.
Ah, yes, we exist, and therefore we are evil. I understand. Perfectly
It's more like
reasonable.
You plague humanity, though humanity itself.
As if humanity itself is not a plague.
Yeah.
He'll chuckle to himself and say, like,
After all, we were all human once. I'm sure we're fully aware of
"Oh, I'm sorry."
the depths
yes.
that humanity can sink to.
The Walks on Earth will kind of raise his hand like, "Look, man, you know, I would not be human if I was not one of my kind, man. I was born at this nice zoo in Paris. It was a great time. Then one day, all of a sudden, you're like, bam! I'm a man! So weird!"
Yeah, definitely.
I'm sure that, yeah.
Excellent.
Sebastian will be rolling his eyes.
Sebastian, is that how it happened for you too?
No. I was born as a human as you were. So. Not all of our kind are born from wolves. In fact, the majority nowadays are born from humans. Thank you very much. It's just that because humans have driven most of the wolves to extinction. Isn't that a wonderful thing?
And yet, you know, we're the plague.
Oh, I have never said that humanity isn't a plague in of itself. But it is my tribe's job to make sure that you aren't as bad a plague as you could be. Who do you think's in charge of most of the environmental actions that actually get through various governments?
You seem to be failing in the States there, bud.
Well, there are certain other groups, such as the company that created our good friends, who we could bring back, that are working actively against us. Who do you think is behind many of the corporate interests that say, oh, let's trash the Earth?
It's not our kind.
Well, some of you just don't care. And I never compared you two to true plagues. Only cold. There's a difference. Cold can be lived through. Cold will come back. Cold is something that's annoying, but there. Plague will
And yet
kill you.
You still have this immediate negative perception that we're some kind of cold. Instead of trying to coexist or, God forbid, even be friends with each other. No, it's just...
Oh, I never argued that I could not become friends with individuals of your type. If I would find one that would actually prove itself, fine and dandy, then yes, I in fact have a couple of contacts within your kind that are quite fine individuals.
And yet, you're missing the point of this inbuilt stereotype, ingrained stereotype that you have.
I believe we're coming from a point in time where I know where your people stand on a basic organic level, and I'm trying to say, if you prove yourself to be a decent person instead of arguing with me, then I'll probably treat you with better respect. Now, can we get beyond this and get back to business? I'm really, really need to get back to business.
By all means.
And presumably somewhat tired. They don't sleep during the day as we do.
Oh, well, I have my own schedule, much different than yours. Anyway, so,
So,
what were you doing here? What did you accomplish? Why are these this organization, which is partially funded by a subsidiary of Pentex, working for you with. Anything that Pentex gets its hand in, I worry about.
We didn't know they existed until about 2 hours ago, so if you'd care to enlighten us, that'd be wonderful.
Pentex itself?
Indeed.
Interesting. Then how did you come across being tracked by them?
Your guess is as good as mine there, bud.
Given that we did not know of their existence, that's an excellent question that we would also like to know the answer to. Unfortunately, we cannot give it to you since we don't have it.
All we know is that they are linked to the Kai Institute. That's all we know right now.
Yes, and I'm interested in what your connection to the Kai Institute is. That is what I'm saying. The subsidiary of Pentex, basically a company within the companies, or Overreach, are who is working with the Kai Institute. And they're the ones I'm currently most interested in. As much as Pentex as a whole...
Would you like the answer to your question, then?
Yes.
They've fucked with us several times, interfered with what we were trying to accomplish, which in most cases is to learn about our history, and keep fucking with us.
Yep.
We still haven't really figured out why. Kind of what we're trying to do. For some reason, we have this megalithic corporation that continues to screw with our own activities, and yet have given no indication as to why they're doing it, or any such thing.
Well, maybe we can shed some light on this.
Excellent.
We have a bit of information that maybe your information combined with it can give you some answers. This institute has been using scientific research, plenty of it, and they seem to be a coalition between a number of supernatural beings. That's all we can identify. We've managed to identify, of course, Pentex, who has brought in forth with them a number of worm spirits, and of course, the Black Spirals, who seem to be acting as a muscle currently to them. It also seems that there is a group of your kind with them. We don't know a lot about them.
And technomancers and mummies.
We didn't know about the Undying. It's interesting.
Well, one has fucked with us.
Oh, the Undying are an unusual thing. I've actually met one. It's very interesting. I've only heard some stories. They're not normally something that we would have to deal with. Normally it's your kind, the mages, technomancers. I've had dealings with technomancers before just because of my own businesses, and they form their own kind of corporate entity also. One that normally doesn't deal with our problems, fortunately. But still. Anyway, this group, other than the presumed scientific expertise, seems to be very interested in artifacts. And from what we can tell, it seems to be artifacts linked to many supernatural creatures.
Makes sense.
Yes. Recently,
given that we are interested in history.
Recently, they have acquired a number of things that worries me. They'd identified some kind of material that can be described as from your origins. A number of artifacts that seem to come from your legends. I'm not as familiar with your own legends, but I know that you have, just as we have our own stories of where we came from, you have your own stories about where you came from. It's the same for all breeds of creatures that are out there in the night. Everyone has their own myths and legends, and how much of it's true is, well, it's for us that we can never truly... I'm not going to get into that. That's a philosophical debate that you don't need to be involved in. Walks on Earth will be like, look, we can talk about it again some more. I know you got your misgivings, but Mother Earth is all around us. Yes, well, recently, as other than those artifacts, we heard that they acquired something from a battle in Russia. They seem to have acquired some form of weapon. It was in the hands of a powerful vampire. heated battle with a number of werewolves. Apparently he'd been battling them for over a decade now. And this blade was lost, or at least acquired during that strike. I'm fairly certain that both sides, in a way, survived. But they've managed to sneak in and grab this item. They also seem to have a number of digs within the Middle East and Egypt, looking for something.
Concerning.
Well, if we consider that's the region that's thought to be a mythological birthplace of many ancient cultures, I'm fairly certain they're looking for ancient cultures' connections to various supernatural creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Does this mean anything to you? I'm still curious as to what you were actually doing in here, up in the mountains. Very easily, I could place a phone call and tell us, we happen upon some travelers, and things could be trouble. So I want some words. And my patience is beginning to grow thin.
We were on the trail of this weapon that you are discussing.
All right.
We had tracked evidence of it or something like it here.
All right.
Where we encountered the abomination.
The creature is an affront to everything. It is...
Agreed. I imagine it, like most other things, would make the roach wares shit themselves.
Let me put it this way. As horrible it is, the black spirals, creatures, our kind that have fallen to corruption in this world, and seek to destroy it. That is far worse. It is unconnected to your kind to any true degree, and unconnected to ours. Stories of such creatures tell of only death should they survive, which is a miracle in and of itself.
Don't know if miracle's the right word, but sure.
Miracles can be good or evil. They can still be miracles. I guess, numerically speaking, the percentages were quite low. If you believe more in that. So you encountered it, and your encounter with it drove it from its home, or at least made it realize it could leave, and then it encountered the battle going on outside and joined with it.
As a side note, who was it armed with the little bird in the hind? Was that the spiral dancers, or was that your own?
That was, a number of red talons had that. The silver fangs are much more on the ground. The red talons, as much as
so
they're
it was
red,
his.
use that.
So in the red... wait, no. Sorry, which one was which again?
Red talons were the ones that were probably using the...
okay, sorry, I'm definitely still 100% present. So what were the red talons looking for up in the mountains? Were they tracking the dancers at the time?
Your presence has been noticed in Osh. There aren't much of your kind in this region. Most of them keep to themselves and hidden away. Most of them are of, I believe, your clan Gangrel. Because Gangrel are the closest to beasts, and in a way can almost earn a respect, even from tribes such as the Silver Fangs and Red Talons. Most of the time, though, as long as they keep to themselves, they aren't eliminated. But if you get in their way, well, it seems like newcomers on the block are quite noticeable.
That makes sense.
They originally...
In what way were we not keeping to ourselves?
Indeed, we arrived here and immediately went into the mountains. We did not harm anybody.
Oh, I'm not saying that you would have been harmed. It's just that you began to be tracked by them, and it turns out you were being tracked by another group. And it's the age-old, one group meets another group, and things go down. They both
And
learned
again,
that you were being
I
tracked.
fail to see how this should be laid at our feet.
I wasn't laying it at your feet. I'm just saying that, incidentally, you are at fault in this. Even if you did not mean to have it at fault. You brought the fight here by bringing your apparent enemies here.
Except that we did not bring our enemies here. Our enemies tracked us here without our knowledge. So we did not bring them.
And you very much did just lay it at our feet with that statement.
Yeah. What would you like us to do about this?
About an enemy
This thing that we did not
aware.
know about, that we had no reason to think was happening.
My entire thing here is not to get into an argument with you about the semantics of who's at fault here. I just want you to be honest and give me all the information, because I just have this feeling that you are blurting out partful truths.
Okay. And what would you like?
Did you find something there? Do you have it with you?
We have no idea where the abomination is, so...
That thing has
We
left.
did find an abomination there.
Yes, you did.
We do not have it. The abomination was presumably there to protect something, and we are still looking for the weapon that apparently was taken from some vampire in Russia.
An area that said vampire has not been in many years and has been held.
So now we need to go and find that, which apparently will bring the Institute along with us wherever we go.
Well, he's gonna kind of like whisper something to Walks on Earth, which I'm not sure what that'd be translated to French would be, but that's probably what his actual name is. It'd be some French thing that sounds a lot like that. Well, since you continue to wish to not be honest with me, that's fine. Just so you know, my friend here can sense what you have with you. That's why I wished for your honesty, but we know where you stand now. I will at least help you out of this country because we both have similar enemies. But beyond that, you will have no help from us. You are on your own with battling this institute. The thing you bring taps into the spirits of Earth itself, so you thought we would not realize you carried it.
And what is it we carry?
I know not, but you have an object of power.
Naturally, we must have got it from the cave. Yes, I see your logic. Couldn't be connected to the entire adventure we've been on discovering other artifacts. You do seem to make many presumptions.
Oh, yes. You have done nothing to make me believe that I shouldn't make presumptions about you. You've been
Leslie,
partially honest
please
with us.
stop antagonizing this gentleman who is helping us leave this country.
He's done nothing but antagonize us.
And yet he is helping us leave the country. Please stop.
I can get you to America. Beyond that, it's up to you to where you travel. It'll be safe travel, and it should be something that you can travel in that would keep you out of the light. The airports will otherwise be watched by, well, at least the local militia. I'm unsure if if the Kai Institute will be watching them there. Ryan, it's time to go home. You'll be traveling with your new friends.
Ryan, bring lots of pants, please.
Oh, I'm out of them.
Alright, we're gonna stop by a store
Put them back
first.
on.
Oh, no, I have one last pair. I'm good, though.
I'm gonna go bring Speb.
I'll go with them and make sure they're okay. That way you don't have to leave this place. Whatever you want to do. It's your business here.
Sebastian, I regret that our meeting could not have been more productive.
You know, let me tell you this much. An old friend of mine, when I asked to get some information about the individuals that were here, told me good things about you. An old friend of mine that told me perhaps to assist you. Because, well, turns out he'd been watching a little bit, and a pupil of his has gotten into some trouble, and thought that helping you might be good. Turns out, favors are hard to do. If you do end up rescuing the one called Samuel, tell him his sire still watches out for him.
That is our intent.
We'll end it. We'll do a break here. I was going to say end it. We'll go to break here as you guys will be heading.
I was gonna say Samuel's daddy still loves him.
Yes. Samuel's daddy, who left him behind in New York and disappeared one day.
We don't know why he left, though. It could have been for his own good.
But apparently is also friends with this guy.
Yeah, that's worrying.
Maybe this guy should have led with that, given that we've been backstabbed, we've been ambushed, we've had no reason to trust brand new groups anywhere we went.
Just pointing out, we still couldn't have told him anything about the swords.
Yeah. But we also could have been, a little more trusting had we known his own connections.
See, he wanted to test you. That's the thing.
We also have scary ghost
test if we're gonna have blind faith with a group that generally, deigns to kill us on sight. And yes, I'm going to blindly trust a werewolf who has given me no reason to trust him yet.
He did give you Ryan and the team to try to trust you. They're friends with Ryan. I don't know why you wouldn't love them, because they're friends with Ryan.
He doesn't even like Ryan. Come on.
No, he doesn't.
Does anyone like Ryan?
If he stopped shitting himself, me and him could get along.
If he didn't talk quite so much, me and him could get along.
Well, we'll go to break and we'll resolve what's happening with the plane ride and your, and maybe you still have a possibility of a friend, in a, Children of Gaia that's traveling with you. Maybe you can, use him to maybe get on Sebastian's good side, because Sebastian probably just, he's very straightforward, not really, you guys and your betrayals and his attitude don't mix very well.
No, they don't.
Wait, what do you mean our betrayals? We didn't betray anybody.
No, that you've been betrayed a lot, so you're very
we've been
untrustworthy.
betrayed. So, we have no reason to trust new people sight unseen, and that is exactly what he expected us to do.
Well, he expected, dead honesty and, all the information up front, it's just sort of he just wants it, he doesn't want any of the fluff. He's very straight to the point, basically. And
he's not a very understanding individual, is he? He very much is I want things to go the way I want, and I want it now.
Yeah.
He doesn't really care about other people.
Oh, he does care about certain other people, but you have to earn your way into his, to being on those list of people. That's
the thing, he expects people to earn his, but he doesn't expect to have to earn other people's, is what I mean. He's an interesting individual.
He's a person whose trust should be earned, not someone who needs to earn people's trust.
Yes. Anyway.
It's a bit of a backwards view.
It is, but there are people that have that view.
There are.
So, we're going to take a quick break here. If you need a drink, if you need a snack, or if you have to take a quick restroom break, go ahead and do it. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, and we'll continue with getting on the plane and apparently heading to somewhere in the Midwest America at least for now, as you're getting out of Kyrgyzstan.
Oh, I'm gonna need a drink. That's for sure.
God, I wish.
Also, you probably can arrange to get a crocodilian picked up.
Oh, good.
Oh wait, no, didn't you send the
No,
crocodile back?
it's in the trunk with us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, you had it in the trunk
It was
with
in
you.
the truck.
It's in the truck with you, so you got your crocodilian. I forgot you had it with you. Anyway, all right.
It's the giant geode that needs to be picked up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait. But VtM was with us still.
Yes, VtM is still with you. Yes.
Oh.
She hasn't said anything because she doesn't understand a word that's being said.
Oh, yeah.
Completely forgot about that. I probably should have translated.
You were busy arguing, Sebastian, and she's like, I'm not needed. I assume. Anyway, break. We'll be back in a minute. So, see you in a second, folks.